Did
Yeah, let's
you
mention it.
see the trailer for Iron Lung? And Jamie, you can.
I
I know
did.
that Jamie's a fan as well. We should weigh in on this because this is a big thing. So for anybody who isn't aware, Iron Lung was a independent horror game. Was it David Szymanski? I think was the. I think he's the creator of it. He's done a bunch of horror games.
Mhm.
He did the Dusk games that are. It's like a Doom
Oh.
shooter type game as well. They're really good. But he had an indie game called Iron Lung that came out a few years ago, and it's basically you pilot a submarine on the moon in a blood ocean. I'm pretty sure is the plot of the game because humanity has been wiped out, and so you have to like you're piloting this submarine in a blood ocean, and that's essentially the plot of the game. And
Yeah.
Markiplier, the very famous YouTuber Markiplier, played the game on his YouTube channel a couple years ago. And I haven't heard Mark talk about this personally. I don't watch that many Markiplier videos. I like Markiplier. Don't get me wrong. I like Markiplier. I think, and I've watched a lot of his stuff. I think he's an entertaining guy. Apparently, he liked the game enough that he decided to self-finance a Iron Lung movie, and it comes out in theaters next month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen?
I think it's out now. I think it's out in some places right now.
Oh, is it already out?
I don't believe it's out now. I believe it's out in January 30th.
Well,
okay, yeah. So
I saw a thing he posted on his Instagram story that I guess he was just listing the theaters it will be.
He is listed. More theaters are being added each day, so that is probably what he's talking about. There is more and more theaters that are going to premiere the movie on the 30th of January.
Okay, I watched the trailer.
What'd you think about it?
Like, okay, to me, I'm like a real nitpicker though. I looked at it and I know it's independent, totally cool. I think people should just do what they can with the budget they have. And I think he self-funded it, which he does a lot of his stuff. He does those like elaborate series on his channel and shorts and films and stuff, and they look great. To when I watched this, I looked at it as, oh, that's a painted set. They built this room and I see the paint on the wall that's supposed to look like an old dingy submarine. It looked theatrical, like a theater, like a play, you know, when you're looking at like a set wall. I saw it as that. I saw the prop hoses and I was like, okay, this looks like not a real submarine. I guess. And my brain just instantly went to that. That was my first thing. I was like, okay, it's independent. That's still cool. It's still cool. It's coming out in theaters. And that is all I could focus on. And I feel bad saying that because I'm not, it's probably great. And it's probably, I never played the game. I know he loves horror games and he probably knows the game inside and out. So he's a perfect person to write and star in this thing. But
and he's directed it too. Like it was directed it too as well. I think
he did everything. Yeah, which is awesome.
I think he did it all.
It's not really my kind of thing. I don't think watching it, looking at what I saw. But I hope it does really well because then it's just a good thing for independent cinema and independent creators. And then screw the studios, do it yourself. And I think that's what I'm more intrigued by and interested in is him doing this by himself and getting it in theaters. I think it's really cool of him and it's impressive and he worked really hard and he deserves it to do well. But I personally don't think I would really enjoy this type of a horror film.
Did you know?
Look, there's a difference between when I look at that trailer and then I watch another YouTuber's movie, which was Bring Her Back, the Raka Raka guys. That is like hands down, that's just a film, full on, full budget. Like it just looks amazing. And I don't think
that was fun. But that was fine. But that was financed through. But that was financed through a production company.
And I also want to clarify as well, Raka Raka were filmmakers while being YouTubers. Markiplier has only become a filmmaker the last 3 years. Raka Raka were always filmmakers. In fact, they went viral on Facebook pretending to fake viral videos. I remember one of their very first ones was about a knife that accidentally goes into their friend's head, and it was a fake video that went on viral on Facebook, and they made more. They were always filming actual stuff with shots and action. If you actually go and watch Raka Raka from 10 years ago, they have had nearly 15 years of fighting experience on camera and action shots. So they have had way more experience than Markiplier has.
So they're not really like YouTubers turned filmmakers.
They're kind of like filmmakers that just happen to be on YouTube and now they finally got their big break.
Kind of like me.
They're yeah. Well, I mean, but yeah, but like
I'm just
you've
kidding.
always. But you've always been a filmmaker who happened to be a YouTuber. I think that Raka Raka was kind of the same
Yeah.
way.
I do YouTube
And
stuff in my spare time to keep myself busy, but the real main dream has always been like acting on TV shows and filming high budget, not high budget because I don't have a high budget, but like Neutral and Milford. I feel look good. It doesn't look like, you know, a YouTuber with a good camera and a bunch of friends, you know, in a
yeah,
room filming.
I'm
That I got a little bit of that from the Iron Lung, but I might be the only one. You guys should watch it and tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, if it maybe looks totally legit to you guys.
I think my takeaway from the Iron Lung trailer, I'm very curious. So first of all, I will say congratulations, Mark. And I think that it's awesome that like he could go from being a Let's Play YouTuber who was clearly very passionate about horror media and horror games that he took this kind of like slightly obscure indie horror game and he liked it so much that I read a statistic that he put $4 million into it. I was like, he must really believe in this project if he's going to sink 4 million bucks into it of his own
Yeah.
money. And but congratulations, Mark. And I hope that the movie turns out to be good. I got a little bit of what you're saying, not as much maybe, but I got a little bit of it felt uh campy a little bit, but I think that might.
There's also I was just saying to add to the what we're saying is like it maybe feels a little low budget. It's when there's a lot of shots in something, maybe it's just a trailer, maybe they showed a lot of these. When it's a shot of something zoomed in and it's like, say you're like zooming in on this pen and only the pen's in focus and everything else is out of focus, and they're using, depth of field really heavily. That can come across, in my opinion, as, oh, we're trying to make it look as beautiful as we can to make it look like a real movie, because real movies zoom in on things and keep them in focus with other stuff out of focus. It felt a little bit like zooming in on all these buttons and the rack focusing, and it's just like it looks like what you try to do when you want your movie to look good. And not every shot has to be this beautiful glamour shot. You know what I mean? And that trailer had a lot of that.
I mean, it was also just a trailer.
It.
Yeah, I think you're just I think a little bit of overthinking it. I'm gonna reserve judgment, obviously, for like I'm gonna see it because I do like Markiplier and I think he's entertaining. And mostly I want to see what he did with like, okay, I'm like he spent millions of dollars on this. I want to see what he did. I also like the Iron Lung. I played it once a long time ago, and I'll probably play it again before the movie comes out. It's a fairly short experience, so I'm very curious to see what he does with it. Also, apparently, it set the record for the most blood used on screen during a horror movie. The previous record holder, the previous record holder was Evil Dead 2013, and this beat that movie. So this is technically the most stage blood ever used in a movie.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
But yeah, I'm very curious. I'm going in. I think if you go in with super high expectations, you might be let down. So I'm going to go in with like an open mind. I'm going to try to like
just watch
I'm
it
gonna,
for what it is.
I'm going to watch it for what it is. I think it's going to lean. If I had to like jump to a conclusion from the trailer, I think it seems like a low budget horror movie, which it is. And not that that's a bad thing, but I think anytime you do something that's like, I'm like, this is a very ambitious thing to do as a low budget horror movie too, because it's literally, it's a submarine that's in a blood ocean. So, but I can also see where he was, what his thinking was, because it's just it's a single location. It's one actor in a single location. So, but the only danger with this type of thing is that the entire movie it hinges on Mark's performance. And I don't,
and the writing.
Like, and the writing
to keep it entertaining and keep us interested the whole way through.
And I like Mark, but I've never seen him I've never seen him like I've seen his Let's Plays, and I didn't watch that show that he did. What was the show, Jamie? Was it Edge of Sleep or something? He had a show that he was on a couple of years ago.
I can find the name, but yeah, he did a few
something
stuff
like that. He did a few things. I've never seen him acting. I've only seen Mark being Mark, so I'm very I'm curious to see what his acting looks like because I've never seen it. Well, we should. Congratulations again, Mark. Where everybody, please go see the Markiplier movie Iron Lung.